Excuse me, just a second. Well, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Would this be kind of rude? Maybe, perhaps. How many of you're talking to a customer and the shiny rock goes off in your pocket and before you know it, you're whooping that thing out. Excuse me just one second. I'm sorry, you're not that important. And, unless your job involves, do I cut the green wire or the red wire? You're not that important. There are times when you should be unavailable. Let's God hope going to the bathroom is one of them, although what you see in the Atlanta airport would belie that. There's times you're not available. If you really want to impress a customer, if your phone goes off, just reach in there and turn it off. And if he says, do you need to get that? Keep looking at him. Don't break eye contact and say, no, I'm helping you with your problem right now. As soon as I get through helping you with your problem, I'll call them back and I'll help them with theirs. That communicates value to them. That communicates concern. I'm here to solve your problem. And whoever it is can wait just a few minutes. What, 2, 3? And if that's tough for you, technology is a great thing. How many have a smartphone? Technology is an incredible thing. Now, if you're taking notes, you need to probably write this one down. There is a brand new app out that almost no one knows about. It's called, voicemail. Yeah, that's it. Voicemail. It's incredible. My God, if you don't answer this shiny rock, it will answer your call for you. Take a message, and you can call this person back. It's amazing. It's amazing. Try it sometime. It'll change your life. Don't be a slave to the shiny rock, okay? Put it away. Communicate value to your customer in real time. Don't break eye contact. Let them know you care about them. That's what it's all about. Now, the other lesson about communicating value I learned also from my wife, and it's the lesson of big gifts come in small packages. And was she right about that one too, ladies? Mm-hmm. There we go. All right, and this is how I learned this, and this 23 years of marriage is going to sound astounding by the time I'm through. We had not been married that long, and we had our anniversary coming up, and I knew I needed to get her something special. I knew I needed to get her something that was really incredible, something that I knew she wanted. I'm practical, so I knew it needed to be something she needed, and I'm smart. I knew it needed to cost a lot of money. Okay, so I thought. That's it. I got her back. Did I mention it costs a lot of money? Okay. And I was all, I was proud of this thing. And I had her sitting in the office, with eyes rolled in. I had the big bow on and everything. Happy anniversary. And she just stared at it. And there's this quiet. And again, that's never a good sign. And she finally looked up at me and this. Why in the hell would you get me a vacuum cleaner for my anniversary? It wasn't really the reaction I was looking for. I said, because you always tell me that you hate our vacuum cleaner. I don't hate our vacuum cleaner. I hate vacuuming. I tell you all the time I hate vacuuming. Hoping one time you would actually listen to what I'm saying, volunteer to vacuum for me, do something around the house to help me out. That would mean so much more to me. And, she said, Ron, what you need to understand is you'll never tell me you love me by doing something big one time a year. You'll tell me you love me by doing something small every day of the year that actually doesn't have to cost a penny. In the utilities industry, we think the only thing we can do for our customer is vote down a rate increase. As decision makers, that's the only thing that they notice. It's not. We can do small things every single day, showing care and concern for our customers that will tell them that we care about them, that we love them, we appreciate them, rather than the other way around. That's the lesson that we need to take forward. Don't be hung up on doing one thing one time a year and ignore your customer the rest of the year and think that's communicating value. It doesn't. We can do better than that. This is how we communicate value. We smile when we talk to our customers. We teach our people, we teach our staff, all the way down to the lowest shovel operator, to look a customer in the eye. Help them with their problem. Take a minute to solve their problem. Customers are not those people that interrupt your work. They're the reason you have work. And we need to approach customers in a whole new way like that. And it starts with just teaching your people to be polite. Now, sometimes that sounds difficult to do. Sometimes that sounds impossible. And I talk to utilities all over the country, and they say, well, you might be able to do that. That's fabulous, Rob, but my utility is significantly bigger than yours, and I just don't think that would be possible for us. You might be able to do that, Rob, but my utility is much, much smaller than yours, and we're so tight on our budget. I just don't. You might be able to do that, but we got a union shop, and that'd be impossible to make union workers care about anything. We're a city utility, and that would be impossible. Maybe if we can get a pay raise. And my dad used to always tell me that, impossible is someone else's excuse for failure. Never let it be your excuse for failure. We used to be a can-do nation. When I was little, McElroy, the can-do, he could fly a plane with a grapefruit and a sewing needle and a dead 9-volt battery, What do we got on TV now? We got Survivor, where we take people to an island where people are already living, and we give them $1 million if they can live there too. It's amazing. Where have we gone mentally? We can do more. We can accomplish it. And if you think this is tough, let me show you something impossible to do that you can go back and show your people, okay? This is cool. All right, everybody put your hand out like this with your palm straight up, right dead in front of you. All right? Now, put your palm down. Okay, how many of you had to turn your wrist to do that? Everybody? Okay. I'm going to show you how you can do it without turning your wrist at all. Okay? All right, stay with me. Don't move your wrist a bit. Okay, palm up. Okay, go straight up. Go across your chest. Don't move your wrist. Swing out like a gate. Go straight up. Don't move your wrist a bit. Lock your wrist, straight across, swing out like a gate. Congratulations, you have done something impossible together. Give yourself up. Go back to your utility and they say, I think that's impossible. Go, yes, it's impossible, and luckily there's somebody here that can do impossible things. That's me. Let me be the one to show you how to do impossible things too. We can move forward. We can go further. We can take it to a whole new level. Now, let me close by just telling you, I've told you about my upbringing, I've told you about my dad, I've told you about my wife. Let me tell you about an ancestor of mine. Now, with a name like McElroy, I'm half Scottish and I'm half Irish, which means all of my ancestors drank way too much. And we wore skirts while we did it. So, one of my ancestors, Seamus McElroy, lived up in the Scottish Highlands. And his village was situated right next to a large bog. And one day Seamus got up early before dawn to go hunting to get food for his family. And the bog was a dangerous place under the best of circumstances. But at night in the dark, it's almost a death trap. And so the only way to get to the hunting grounds, which were on the other side of the bog, was to walk around the path that went all the way around. It was literally miles and miles out of his way. And by the time he got all the way around the bog and he goes down a lane a ways and he cut back through the woods, he was extremely tired, he was sweating. He was almost exhausted by that point. And he's pushing his way through the woods as quiet as he can because he doesn't want to scare off any game. And he's parting away shrubbery and underbrush and thorns are pulling at him and it's still pretty dark. And just as he pushes away through the last bit of underbrush, to look into the field where the game would just be waking up and going to feed, he saw something that literally terrified him. He saw a rival clan that his village had been warring with for months. And they were dressed in war paint and they had shields and spears and pikes and bows and arrows, and he knew what was going on. They were marching to his village to do an early morning raid. And he knew immediately if he did not get back and sound the alarm, bad things were going to happen. His village might be wiped out. And so he turned around and he dove back into the thicket, and he's pushing his way as fast as he can. He's running, he's pushing, and the claws are ripping at his flesh, and his clothes are being torn, and he's bleeding, and he's sweating, and he's just exhausted. And he finally gets through the woods, and he gets onto the path, and he picks up speed, and he can hear the clan behind him pushing their way through the woods. He knows they're not too far behind him. And he's on the path, and he's running as fast as he can, and up ahead he sees a fork in the road, and he's got a huge decision to make. The path off to the left is the one that goes through the bog. It's much shorter, but it's still going through the bog. It's very dangerous, especially if he's running, and he just doesn't know if it's worth that risk. And the path off to the right is the path he took that morning. Now, it's safe, it's level, but it's miles and miles long. And he just doesn't know. As tired as he is, he just doesn't know if he can make it back in time. And so facing a monumental decision, probably the hardest decision he's ever had to make in his life, he did what a lot of us in the utilities industry would do facing similar circumstances. He stopped and he formed a committee to study the problem, write a report, and make recommendations. There's a war going on in this country today. A war between people who are trying to accomplish something and people who are trying to never do anything wrong. And it's time to pick sides. There's a village out there that needs to be saved. And there's somebody ideally situated to go back and sound the alarm. And that village is your utility. And the hero they need for them to step forward is you. Take up that call. Find a way to go back to your village. Demand better than you were given. Demand supervisors that deliver and care about their people. Demand that your employees respect your customers. Demand that your board be supportive. Go back and accomplish impossible things. See what needs to be changed. Open your eyes and understand that we just can't keep doing the same old good enough for government work service that we've been providing for far too long. Every revolution starts somewhere, and every revolution starts sometime. What better place than here? And what better time than now? You don't have to do it alone. The entire web organization is ready to stand behind you and give you the tools you need to do that job well. NEWEA is ready to stand behind you and give you all the tools that you need. I'll help you if you need it. Call me, one of us will come and help you in any way that we can. My name is McElroy. It's been an honor to be here. I run one of the greatest utilities in this country. I'm proud to say that. And I'm absolutely confident that if you will go back and learn to see what's invisible to everybody around you and do what's impossible, you absolutely can too. Thank you very much.